I think when I think of Josh Allen before this season, it's swaggy, cocky, like I am Josh Allen. And now it seems like he is splintering.
Buffalo Plus, your interactive look at the week in football, brought to you by Connors and Ferris.
All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus channel, presented by Connors and Ferris. Dan Fates, I am Jenna Cottrell. We're here in Orchard Park the day after the firing of Ken Dorsey as offensive coordinator. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I think today we hit 27,000 subscribers.
Subscribe.
We always appreciate it. Let's talk about it. Ken Dorsey no longer here. Joe Brady taking over the offense. You were in the locker room today. Yeah. What was kind of the vibe you felt?
A little bit of a sense of sadness, in the sense of this team really, really liked and respected Ken Dorsey, especially the person, the man, the father, husband, like that kind of sense of a person. We talked to Spencer Brown as well as Mitch Morris, also Kyle Allen as well, just to kind of get a sense of what the vibe is in the offensive side of the room. And we asked all of them pretty much, hey, what's it feel like right now? They could have given a more muted answer of, hey, it's part of the business, you move on, it didn't work out, I wish Ken the best moving forward. They went on to say it wasn't that. They gave long-winded answers about how much they respect him as a man, how he gave everything to this team. He worked so hard, he gave everything that he had. It didn't work out, but it's sad, but they loved him, and that kind of level of care for a person. I thought that was telling, that this didn't work out because Ken Dorsey was an asshole. That's not why this failed. It was pretty much, but it also both echoed. It's part of the business. This sucks. It happens.
Josh Allen today, I was not in the locker room because we were out here at the podium. He took it so personally, in my opinion. Seeing his body language, him reacting, he talked about how the offense not playing well led to Ken Dorsey being fired, a coach that has been around him for 6 years. And you could tell just kind of how much it was weighing on him. Allen talked about the fact that he understands why this happened. He appreciates Joe Brady. He says Brady brings a lot of juice to the offense, and he's looking forward to what that will look like. But I think that he feels that sense of responsibility, and I think it's very much affecting him. And his answers today were very telling of, I think look, it is a part of the business. Absolutely. You're not scoring enough points. Things like this are going to happen. But it just seemed like Josh was so
hurt.
Hurt is the perfect word.
Yeah. Obviously not a set of circumstances you want to be in, especially during the middle of a season. I love Dorsey. As a human being, he's one of the good ones. He's been in this room with me for a very long time. I feel like I owe him a lot of the success that I've had in my career, and he's been a huge part of that. So it's sad to see him go. And the fact is, we play better as a team. We probably don't have to make a move like that. He was a big part of what we've been doing here in the last few years. I talked with Coach McDermott, and I understand the thought process of why we're doing it. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, we've got a game against a division rival on Sunday, and we still have time to turn this thing around.
Yeah. So obviously, Josh being affected by it. Now, Sean was also saying he's receptive to Joe Brady moving forward, taking over the responsibilities, and it's something that Josh needs to understand. Look, for a lot of these guys, this is the first time a coach has been fired and somebody new has come in the middle of the season. Spencer Brown said, he's like, I've never had to deal with this, so I have no other thing to compare it to. Mitch Morris been around a lot longer, but for Josh Allen, this is really the first time this has happened. He is now on his third offensive coordinator in the last 3 years. He has known stability. This is the last link in the Brian Dable chain. He has no connection to him, and it's interesting to see where this goes, where this offense is. Because, look, Ken Dorsey didn't get fired just because of Josh Allen. Okay, and that was something Kyle Allen pointed out, was like, hey, look, he didn't get fired because of Josh's play. He got fired because of the offense's play. Every single person on that offense had a hand in it. It wasn't just one person. And so you have to be able to compartmentalize that and understand this is part of the business. You got to move forward. And that's where Sean McDermott says this has to be a new beginning with Joe Brady and his confidence. And I thought Sean had some interesting answers about him saying that he has a little bit of that it factor. He's got some energy. He's got some of that vibes to him.
I am genuinely concerned about Josh Allen. I know you're talking about Joe Brady and all these things, but I worry about his confidence and what this decision does to the level of pressure and responsibility that it seems like is weighing on him. He talked about, I'm the franchise guy, this all is on my shoulders, all this stuff, and I understand that. But he just seems so different this season in terms of his demeanor, his body language, the way he even interacts with us. And look, I get it. The team's 5-5. The vibes are going to be different because of that. But it just seems so low. And that is why I'm concerned. It went from being, okay, low positive, I get it. He's trying to play in this certain mindset. I think he thinks that this will benefit him. But he just feels, Dan, it's like he's like a shell of himself.
Yeah. It's been
How do you get his confidence back?
Winning.
Holy
cures.
shit. It's like, I felt bad for him.
Yeah. Winning cures everything.
It does.
Because, and unfortunately, Ken Dorsey
my
probably
gosh.
has his job if the Bills only had 11 guys on the field.
I think you're right. I think that was just delaying the inevitable, though.
Correct, 100%. But just saying, it is fair to say it's been a roller coaster last 48 hours here at Orchard Park, and I think Josh is still processing it.
Yeah. Well,
Because it's somebody so close that he's been so directly tied to.
I think when I think of Josh Allen before this season, it's swaggy, cocky. I'm going to play this way. I'm going to shove it down your throat. Like, I am Josh Allen. And now it feels like he's just, I don't want to say broken, because that seems too strong, but it seems like he is splintering.
He has to get back to being himself. And I think once you get over this, and hopefully Joe Brady, because as we transition moving forward, this new beginning, Spencer Brown called it a rebirth of the offense. They want to get back to doing what they're supposed to do. You need to understand, Josh, these decisions are made for your benefit.
Yes, I agree.
Unfortunately, there's collateral damage based off of it.
Yes.
But again, like we talked about this in the new studio, the new podcast studio. If you haven't seen that already,
Which we are working on the microphone audio issue. We hear you. We appreciate the feedback.
So if you haven't seen that, again, we did both of our videos did numbies after the game as well as the emergency pod. But understanding the most important thing right now is Josh Allen's mental health and his capacity of getting back to who Josh Allen is, which is jumping over linebackers, running over guys, and being
bleeping Allen.
Yeah.
I guess I don't want to alarm people. What I saw today, it seems like a very different, very much not from the Josh Allen, a diverted Allen that we've kind of been seeing over these last couple of weeks. But I think in the end, this new beginning will be a positive change for Allen. I think for him and Joe Brady, I think maybe Allen will have more input on what he wants to do. Sometimes I do just think that a change is necessary. It could be that spark.
Correct.
And getting back to that Josh Allen that we've talked about, that we've seen. I even asked, though, Von Miller, like, how do you reach Allen? How does the team reach Josh right now? Because he is very hard on himself. He takes things very personally. And Von was saying, he's like, there is a lot on his shoulders right now. And he's like, I can't even imagine what's going through his head. And it's just about loving Josh unconditionally and all of these things. Because you think about the personal aspect involved, too. Like, Josh Allen means a hell of a lot in that locker room, too. And if he's not himself, that obviously affects everyone in that room.
Yep. Win. Winning
I'm
makes
scared.
Everything better.
I'm scared. I don't mean to be alarmist. I'm so scared right now. But like,
winning makes everything better.
You're right.
And it starts with Joe Brady. And the one thing everybody echoed was his energy. And that's something that Sean McDermott said he wants to get back in this offense.
That brings a lot of juice.
Energy and juice. So, again, that was Ken Dorsey.
But my thing is, like, what else are you going to add?
Also, he does come from a coaching tree of Sean Payton. He does come from, this newer age, newer style.
He's also younger, so maybe he can relate better to his players.
So that's what you're looking for. And again, I don't know how much Joe Brady is going to switch things up. I don't know. To me, it kind of seems like I kind of thought of it as changing vibes.
Yeah.
The move to move on from Ken Dorsey is changing vibes. It's not going to necessarily change the scheme moving forward.
How much money will someone pay me to bring sage into this facility and just sage this place down? Bless you. I didn't say bless you. I'm sorry. Bless you. Let's talk Sean McDermott, what he had to say today, because he talked about making this change and how the offense needs to find more productivity, be more consistent, things like this. And he believes that Joe Brady can kind of allow that to happen, considering his resume he talked about and just the fact that it's kind of a change of pace.
We kind of heard a lot of the same things. Sean seemed more energized today.
Very much so.
Very upbeat.
Almost like he just had a cup of coffee.
Almost like he had a double espresso. Like kind of one of those things. The one thing Mike talked about it. We talked about it off the air when we were driving back. You know, Sean was very complimentary of his defense after Monday night's performance. Sean McDermott was the last question of his press conference. He talked about Joe Brady, talked about Mike Shula, things like that, X's and O's. The one thing that really stood out to me was the fact that he said the biggest change from going from a coach, a position coach, to a coordinator is leadership. I thought that was very telling. He said, at the end of the day, it's a leadership position. You better have your X's and O's in a line, but it comes down to leading players. And whether that's getting a culture, all of those things. We can dive into those things and we can read into every word that Sean says, and we can see those as slights at Ken Dorsey because he's no longer here. We could also see those as just straight up compliments as to what he now sees in Joe Brady. But the one McDermott answer that stood out to me was the last question.
Yeah.
He was asked about the Jets' defense and the challenge it is to prepare for them. And this was his answer, and wait for the end.
I think more than anything, our focus needs to be on us, and in particular on offense, but overall as a team as well, and getting us right, and getting us back to playing confident, playing with energy, building like I said, on our offensive side, building a little bit of a culture here, of a subculture of the bigger culture of the team, and I think you saw some of that on Monday night with, hey, we had some turnovers, defense takes the field, and they go to work, right? And they go to work with grit and toughness and resiliency, and they're just staying after it. And so that to me is infectious, and that is important as well as the X's and the O's. All right, thanks.
So to take the question about the Jets' defense and to spin it and to answer the ending of the question as my defense gritty, my defense is resilient, my defense is tough.
That I was surprised by. When he was saying it, I was like, oh, wow. We're kind of shoehorning this in. But I think that was trying to send the message.
Message sent, because Sean doesn't really say a whole lot.
No, but he knows what he does in the media, which is fair. You can use that as a
It almost seemed like
tool.
he was looking for an opportunity to talk about his defense and the way that they played, and almost like, I want our offense to play like our defense.
Yeah.
And he took that opportunity.
I mean, he almost sounded like a Dan Fates trying to get the bow.
100%. It's a
Which,
veteran move. Should be an NFL head coach.
maybe offensive coordinator from your couch. I didn't love it. But I also understand why he said it, because there has been very loud criticism of him. And I think that was his way to kind of say, hey, like, my unit is playing well.
My fear is we are approaching cover your ass season.
It seems like
If the season
continues
to spiral downwards, we are approaching, hey, I'm doing
But
my
I did
part.
this, yeah.
I'm doing my part. Just let everybody know.
the next 7 games are going to be
They're going to be big.
they're going to be wild to see, because the pressure and the heat can turn up real fast in the NFL.
Yeah. Podcast, everything we've already done this week. We will have a podcast coming out tomorrow as
Yes.
well.
Joe Brady will talk tomorrow,
Yep.
too. We'll have what he has to say. We
Yep.
really haven't talked to him because
Nope.
obviously
really
just
talked
the
to- yeah.
coordinators are the ones that talk, and then Eric Washington as well. So
Busy week. I'm tired still.
they have to win on Sunday. Oh, I didn't like that noise.
It's a bit mic stuff.
Okay. All right, for Dan, I'm Jenna. Please be sure to like, comment your thoughts on this. I don't want to call it a shit show, but this situation. I don't know. And please be sure to subscribe, share with a friend. Be sure to find our podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. Like, comment, subscribe.
Perfect.
Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, all that. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. We always appreciate it. For Dan, I'm Jenna. We will catch you next time here on Buffalo Plus, presented by Connors and Ferris.
More content coming.
It was just weird today.
Buffalo Plus, your interactive look at the week in football, brought to you by Connors and Ferris.